Welcome back to the channel. Hi, this is Wandering with Laura, and I have a special guest, Alex.
Hello, it's me.
This is my boyfriend Alex. You might have seen him in some of my vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
But today we're going to be doing story time type videos while our cats are messing around in the background. We have Ella here. You saw her in the intro. But today, we're going to be talking about two stories from our past adventures. Ella. So today we're going to be telling stories from our past adventures. Two stories from each of us, and we're going to have a prompt, which you will see on the screen here once the story is being told.
Ooh, editing magic. Very
Editing
cool.
magic.
Yeah.
So, real quick recap though, Alex, how many state parks have you been to?
Like, I know in my head, off the top of my head, I don't know, like 9? Have we been to 10?
We've been to 12.
Well, I was really close.
And then how many national parks have you been going?
So far only 2. Yeah, just Glacier and Big Bend.
And how did you get into hiking and traveling?
Well, basically you. I mean, I went camping with my parents a lot, but my mom's not much of a hiker, and my dad's more of a fisherman. So when I started dating you, your parents are crazy, and they backpack through the Grand Canyon for miles and weeks, and they take shits in holes. So
4 days.
Very impressive.
4 days.
Whatever it is, it's awesome, and I've really fallen in love with walking in nature and camping, going to see the beautiful places that we have here in the Americas. America.
America.
That's right. We don't curse here.
Okay. So our first prompt is going to be our favorite story view that we've seen. So, Alex is gonna go first. So, what is your? Stop it!
What? I didn't do anything.
No, I know you were giggling because I counted wrong backwards.
No.
That
was cute.
Okay, so tell me a story about the best view that you've seen.
I've ever seen. Besides you. Well, I think my favorite view so far on the adventures we've been on, sadly to say, not in Texas. As much as I love Texas, and it is a beautiful place, and a lot more beautiful than a lot of people give it credit for. I think it's really awesome here. However, we went to Montana last year. Was it 6 months ago?
Oh God, it doesn't feel. I don't think it was. It was October. No, it was September.
Okay, actually it really wasn't that long ago, which is pretty sweet. And so it's so fresh in my mind. But when we first got there, we had a great time driving through Montana. We drove through some fog, which is pretty sweet. And one of the best sights we saw at Glacier National Park, besides all the cool animals we saw, was when we went to look at Lake McDonald. The view from Lake McDonald, what's that? It's like a little village.
Apgar Village.
Apgar, that one. Yes, that one. There's little docks that lead out into the lake, and from there you just get this fucking awesome. This really cool view of the mountains and the lake and the colors and the sun. I don't know. It's just gorgeous. It's like it's something out of one of those really nice paintings. The environment. There's that one guy. He does really cool paintings. Your mom has some of them. I don't know, but it was just gorgeous, and it's probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah. If you guys like to see some of our photos from Glacier, head over to my Instagram at Firewood Photography. I have a bunch of photos from Montana if you scroll back on my page.
Oh, like and subscribe. Yeah.
Okay.
Comment down below your favorite view. Sorry.
Okay. Well.
And what about you, Laura?
Well, you kind of stole mine.
Well, sorry.
So I'm actually going to talk about.
It was very pretty.
It because I also loved seeing Lake McDonald, and I actually cried when we went there.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
But I cry a lot, so it's not that surprising. So I'm going to tell my second favorite view story. The best view that I've seen is in Rocky Mountain National Park, and it is the view from Lake of Glass on the Estes Park side of Rocky Mountain National Park. Now, a little backstory on how I was able to see this view is I had to climb a waterfall. That was probably one of the things that I don't think a lot of other people have done, but I had to climb a waterfall because the trail going up to Lake of Glass was covered by snow. And the story goes, in 2020, my parents and my whole family, we went to Rocky Mountain National Park, stayed in the cabin, had took any precautions we could not to like really be around a lot of people, but still enjoy nature. And on our second to last day in Rocky Mountain, my dad was like, "We're gonna do this 15-ish mile hike where we were going to go from Bear Lake to Lake Kaieah, and then from Lake Kaieah go to Andrews Glacier and Lake of Glass / Sky Pond." Now, Lake of Glass and Sky Pond and Andrews Glacier all have different access points. You don't not have to access them from Bear Lake, but this is what we chose to do that day. And I was already feeling really unwell. I was dealing with altitude sickness. I was dealing with a lot of stress going on due to something that had happened in my personal life. And I was crying for a majority of that hike and dealing with heaviness and dealing with all these things. And me and my mom decided that after we were done with Lake Kaieah and we were going down to Andrews Glacier, my mom and I decided that we were just going to meet my dad and my sisters at Lake of Glass at the bottom of it, and then we were going to wait for them to go up there, see it, say hi, maybe go to Sky Pond, and then we were all going to head back down to the car. In the process of waiting, I started to force myself to feel better by just telling myself I needed to not feel so bad, and that I needed to enjoy the trip and feel better. And I also rest and water helps a lot. And I decided that I wanted to go see this Lake of Glass and this beautiful view that everyone had been talking about, and how all these people, everyone was saying oh, this is awesome, it's an awesome thing. So then I climbed the waterfall because why not? And I go up there and I'm looking at this gorgeous, gorgeous lake. If I can insert a picture, I will. And then I turned around and I just saw the mountains and the valley that I had just hiked through. It was just gorgeous. And I tell you, when I just cried this relief, and all I wanted to do was scream, but there were other people around me, so I couldn't do that. And my mother was waiting at the bottom, and she was a little concerned about me climbing a waterfall. So that is my best view story.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Our next prompt is, what is your favorite animal encounter that you've had?
Okay. Favorite animal encounter? There have been a lot. There have been many. See a lot of birds. There are a lot of birds in parks and outdoors in general. However, they're not as fun as mammals. And I think the most exciting and kind of freaky was when we were in Big Bend, and we weren't even on trail.
No, we were not.
We were camping. I don't know what.
It was our first night. We'd gotten to the park that day. You and I were gazing up at the stars with the top of our tent open.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't windy yet.
Yeah.
And we were enjoying the stars, and I think we were about to go outside to put the cover back on.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was crazy windy. Man, okay, Big Bend's really, really windy. But we were gonna put the cover back on because it was freezing, because of the wind. And I went outside of the tent and I looked out, and we were, I don't know how we were not, we didn't hear them, but there was like 12 javelinas. Not, I guess they weren't right outside, but they were like a campsite away from us.
No, they were at our campsite. They were just all around us, but they were probably like 10 so feet from the tent.
Oh yeah. They were just kind of scattered around, and they were digging with their little paws and looking for roots and stuff.
So javelinas, for anyone who does not live in the Southwest, javelinas are feral pigs that are native to Texas, and they aren't too big. They're not going to be like the size of a large dog, but they are still pretty big.
I don't know, they're pretty huge. They're pretty big.
That is true. They are.
They're like Labrador size.
Yeah, they're like they're not like a German Shepherd, like a Labrador.
Yeah.
Anyway, they do run around in the dirt with their noses and their tusks and their hooves.
Oh, they're not paws. I said paws, didn't I?
You did say paws.
Okay, they're not paws.
These are not to be mistaken with wild boars, which are an invasive species all across North America, which are pigs that have basically become feral. Javelinas are native to Texas, especially Big Bend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really cool. We actually, I went back in the tent because I was freaked out, and I told Laura, and she was freaked out, and we just had to wait there as you could hear them like sniffling around. They got closer.
They got closer.
They got like probably within a few feet of our tent, and you could hear them just digging like right outside and making their little pig noises.
Do you remember what the area looked like in the morning?
Oh yeah, it was all torn up. It was beat up.
Yeah, there was little holes everywhere. It was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I don't know when they left. I don't think I heard them leave. I think we ended up falling asleep.
I think so too.
But we were really tired, and that was really cool. It was really cool to just see them and hear them, and be right next to them.
Yeah, at the Rio Grande campsite, which is where we were staying in Big Bend, a lot of the campsites do have little holes around them that you can see where javelinas have dug up their food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess my turn. My story is it's actually from our trip to Glacier.
Mm-hmm.
It was my mission in Glacier to show you a moose.
Yes.
I love moose. I think moose are amazing animals. I think they're beautiful. I would love to be able to professionally photograph one someday. But in Glacier National Park in winter, or like fall, winter, it's harder to see them than if you went, let's say, in summer. And we were in Glacier for, at that point, how long it was our last day.
Yeah.
It was our last day. And we had already been there for what, like 2-3 days?
Yeah, I think so.
And we saw two bears.
Foxes.
We'd seen a fox. We had seen a ton of deer.
Oh, I saw one of those
everywhere.
Little beaver things. What are they called? I don't know.
A marmot. You saw a marmot.
Yeah, marmot.
You saw a marmot.
Very cute.
And you loved them. And
Mm-hmm.
they are a very...
They're like just fat little rodents.
Yeah, they're fat rodents. They kind of... You remind me of them a lot.
Oh, thanks.
Well, because all they like to do is eat and sleep.
Well, I mean, I feel like everybody should just like to eat and sleep.
Anyway, we were in the Two Medicine area of Glacier National Park, which is the southeastern... Is it southeast? It's south.
Yeah, it's like a different part of the...
It's a different part of the park. It's like it has its own entrance and everything. I want to say it's southeast.
And we had originally just thought about going somewhere else.
We originally were thinking about going to Many Glacier,
Yeah.
and then realized that the time that it was going to take us to drive there and drive back, and time enough to eat food, go to the Sun Road one more time, and get back to our
We were really busy.
We to get back to our the Airbnb we were staying at in time enough to go back to go to bed and then wake up to go back to Helena. It was gonna take too much time.
Yes.
And we weren't gonna really be able to see anything. So we decided to go to Two Medicine area, and it's actually a really amazing part of Glacier. There was not a lot of people there. I think on this particular hike that we did, we maybe only saw 5, maybe 7, 8 people the entire time.
Maybe.
That. But it was very, very secluded, and this area of the park was known for. It's one of the many areas of the park where bears are frequented. So we were taking precautions, hitting our trekking poles together, saying, "Hey bear," talking very loudly, and as we were hiking on the trail going out to the Twin Falls waterfall, we heard this rustling in the leaves. You actually heard it first.
Yeah, it was not
fun. And it was not fun because we were thinking, oh my god, this is going to be a bear.
Yeah.
We are going to have a bear encounter. We did have bear spray, but it's still scary. And we're like staying super still and super quiet, and like you're like reaching for your bear spray. I think you actually grabbed it.
I pulled it out.
I was
ready. I've never used it before,
yeah,
but I didn't practice, but
we were informed how to use bear spray.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're sitting there, and we're looking in the trees, and we see this large being just keep walking. Like you can see the long legs, then you see the antlers, and it was a moose.
Yeah, thank God.
I know, right? It was a very, very cool experience. We didn't get a very good look at the moose, and I think that's also probably for the better because we were way too close than what you should be with animals. The rule of thumb is that if you put your thumb out and the animal is behind your thumb, then you are a good safe distance away. If that animal is still peeking out behind your thumb, you need to leave.
It was peeking out.
Yeah, he was peeking out, but we just stood there in awe, both of us freaking out. Me more freaking out than you were.
Yeah. And
we just we let him, he walked away. What had happened was that he had been in the area that we were in, and he had started to move, and he had stepped on a branch, and that had scared us. Again, we were thinking it was a bear because of the area that we were in. I would like to go back and see a moose again, especially in Glacier National Park, just because I love moose. Like I said before, I actually have moose earrings.
But moose plush.
I do have a moose plush. I have 2 actually. I have a Squishmallow moose that I got
stickers.
That I got for Christmas. I love moose a lot.
Do you have socks yet? I feel like you need
I
moose.
do not have moose socks.
I will put that on the list.
In all honesty, moose is one of those things that I don't think a lot of people know that I really like. And it's because it's not like a core tenet of my personality.
Yeah, well, the first thing that you told me you liked was zebras. I don't think we got to moose because I think you thought it was weird. I thought it was weird to like moose.
I did, because a lot of people are scared of moose. And I feel like with any big animal out there, you do need to be cautious, but there's no reason to be absolutely terrified and it restricting your ability to go places.
Oh, well, yeah, I wasn't scared of moose until then. Till we were standing in front. They're huge, guys. They're huge.
They are big.
They're bigger than horses.
I'd like to thank all of y'all for watching the video today. If you guys like this type of content, please let me know in the comments below. We loved making this type of content, and I would love to share more stories with y'all. Alex and I have actually been traveling on and off since 2020, and I didn't really start filming my adventures really until 2022. So I would love to share more stories with y'all and Alex as well.
Oh, I got some good ones.
We do have some good ones. As well, we'd love to hear your stories in the comments. So if you have any fun stories from your adventures about the amazing views you saw or fun animal encounters, please let us know in the comments below. And then please
comment, like, and subscribe to the channel.
Yes, please.
Yeah, do it.
Wandering with the Parents Day 2 of their Grand Canyon trip will be up next week. So please, if you saw the first video, please subscribe if you liked it, and if you haven't already, watch it, because it's really crazy. My parents hiked rim to rim on the Grand Canyon for over 4 days, and what's crazy now is that they're thinking about doing it again.
Wow.
I know,
even
right?
Longer this time.
And even longer this time.
Yep.
So we'll have to see what the future holds. And bye, guys.